Tammy Bruce shares What Can Change the Future of America by John Grimaldi. Fox News reporter Tammy Bruce says that in the days before the internet and social media, politicians were used to being able to define reality based on what they told us. Now, however, there are cameras everywhere, she added, and they allow us to see for ourselves what really happens when events such as what happened on January 6, 2021, in Washington, D.C. occur. As Tammy put it during a recent AMAC Better for America podcast interview, things got out of hand. She told BFA host Rebecca Weber, CEO of the Association of Mature American Citizens, that some people deserved to go to jail. But, she noted, footage of surveillance cameras reveals that no, it was hardly an event that could be compared with Pearl Harbor, as Vice President Kamala Harris described it. Nor was it akin to World War II or the Holocaust, as others portrayed it. She said that the surveillance video her Fox News colleague Tucker Carlson obtained reveals the absurdity of what is being said by Democrats who have relied on censorship throughout the last several years of social media so that they can try to control reality. Tammy published an article recently on AMAC's website focused on a riot that provided a surprising reminder of how nefarious and disgusting corruption in the FBI really is. It took place in Atlanta, Georgia. She wrote, 35 people were detained and 23 people were arrested on domestic terrorism for a violent attack on the building site of a police training center. The police described a violent scene which unfolded in classic Antifa style. People wearing black clothing holding shields were throwing rocks, bricks, Molotov cocktails, and fireworks at property and building materials and police officers. Also typical of Antifa, 21 of the 23 arrested had come from out of state, as ABC News reported, some from as far away as Utah, Colorado, Arizona, and New York. 2 protesters charged are from other countries, one from France and another from Canada, according to police. Additionally, one of the 2 locals who were arrested and charged with domestic terrorism was identified as Thomas Juergens, a staff attorney with the Southern Poverty Law Center, SPLC, the left-leaning anti-hate group, according to the State Bar of Georgia and his since-deleted LinkedIn page, according to the New York Post. During her BFA interview, Tammy noted that, it's not just the SPLC, but it's also the ACLU. At issue, is the question of where is the money coming from? Clearly, it's a segment of extremist activists that are funding these liberal entities that, once, fought for freedom of speech and genuine civil rights. But now it's political extremism. Only 2 of those arrested in Atlanta were local. Everyone else came from out of state and in a few instances, from other countries. And that's what Antifa does. They import these people. These were not Atlantans rioting. These were people who move about as a team. And this is the kind of thing that the media really needs to make sure people know. During the George Floyd riots, 2 lawyers were arrested for throwing Molotov cocktails into a police vehicle. They were lawyers working at firms in New York City. They have been disbarred, thank goodness, and they pled guilty to the charges. But then the Biden administration came in and reversed that and allowed them to plead guilty to lesser charges. So why would the Biden administration intervene with 2 people who are lawyers who committed violence, who abused their licenses and their commitment to the law, making it easier for them to get lighter sentences, which they did? It is almost as though, Tammy shared, that these entities are working together to cause as much chaos and disruption as possible. And besides the government's efforts to squash the truth, Tammy believes Americans can still save our country. To her, it's time the National Republican Party and its leadership must step up. To her, it's about states taking control locally where your voice is more heard more rapidly, and keeping control in that regard. And after seeing what DeSantis and other states have done in regard to issues like banning CRT and protecting your children, Tammy insists that those must be templates for the federal government as well as for every other state in our union. Please add comments below and please consider subscribing to this channel.